This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Is the man, the myth, the legend, ready to rock on a Friday? How you feeling, my friend?
Good, man. How you been?
Can't complain, man. Just rocking and rolling out here at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines, having some fun, hanging out with the boys. So, what are you drinking there?
Water.
Just water? Okay.
Yeah, just water.
Okay. All right. How's the neck?
Getting better. Not to the rate that I would like, but getting there.
Okay. That's what happens when you're old, bro. It takes a little while to kind of heal up, you know. So as you get older, those aches and pains, they last a little longer right now. By the way, how pathetic was it to hear that Tyreek Hill got death threats? I have to laugh because is your life that pathetic that it pissed you off that much? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Twitter, social media, fan bases, as somebody who has been abused by them for 15, 20 years, it's not surprising. It really isn't.
No, it isn't, right? Yeah, that's the worst. Actually, that's the worst part about it. It's really
and especially like I would make the argument, and I would love your opinion on this, that Twitter has become more of a vile place than it used to be, let's say 5-10 years ago.
Easily. Yes.
Yeah.
Because more and more people learned how to use it. And so, you know, usually the loud people are the minority. They're like, you know, and that's because that's really not, I believe in general people are good, but you have your bad people and they stand out. It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? You can go into a law office and most of them are probably decent people, but there's probably going to be a shady lawyer or two. You go into a police department, most of them are good, but there's going to be a couple of shady cops. You go into a football locker room, most of them are really good guys. There's one or two idiots. That's and they're loud. Notice whatever happens, it's loud. If it happens and it puts a damper on everything else. And I think that's what's happened, that a lot of savvy people and business people started using Twitter early on. The general public, it takes them a while to catch on. Eventually, as they catch on, you have those kind of people that then start to abuse. It doesn't matter what it is. They're going to we can have Black Lives Matter protest, right? And people are out there for the protest and doing it right. And then there's a group of idiots that are rioting and setting cars on fire.
Looting, trying to get chaos.
Criminals. And so and then they're the loud ones out of that group. Most of the people were decent human beings. But unfortunately, there was that group. And that's just our lives. And I think that's what's happened with Twitter, that as the general public has come in, that pollution has become louder. I am with you 1,000%. Yeah. That's why I keep harping on crypto, because I know where it's at now, and I know where it's going to be in 4 or 5 years from now, 6 years from now, when Omar Kelly is going, God damn it, bro. Orlando told me about this crypto shit like 6 years ago, and here I am using my crypto wallet, paying for this and paying for that. Son of a bitch. I should have invested back in those days, because that's how it is. It takes a while. The world has caught on. They went from Facebook to Twitter, and because Facebook was like that already for many, many years.
Facebook to Twitter to Instagram to TikTok to Snapchat to TikTok.
I'm not on TikTok that much. Is it? That doesn't seem like it's as toxic as the other ones.
I don't know. It's mostly for young people, so I'm not a TikTok expert. My goal probably within the next year is to become more familiar with it, but I got to figure out how it benefits me.
We have no choice, right? It's just part of the business. Like some guy goes to me, "Come on, you're just going to the Vegas Summer League just to go to Vegas." And he goes, because really,
Vegas ain't that dope.
So he goes to me, really, Summer League? And I'm like, dude, I'm not there really to watch them run up and down. I'm not at the East-West Shrine because I'm dying for the game. I'm there
It's
to meet the
context.
people, the contacts, like in the NBA. That's what we're going to do when we're in Vegas Summer League. Since I've been doing it with the NFL for 20 years, now I'm going to start doing some of this on the NBA side to get to know more people on the NBA side to better the show. And it's like people, they don't understand sometimes our business. You know what I mean? They think
No.
it's just fun and games as a fan and
You
just go
you
out
think
there.
Big O travels to the combine with 50 cigars just because he's planning to smoke them all? No. He's handing out cigars so he can smoke them with important people so he can build the contact. Like, hello, I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, man. So now we plan to do that now this in July when we go out to the NBA Summer League to start to build relationships on the NBA side. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I'm trying to do is better our show. Because that's kind of what you want to do. You want to keep working every day to kind of better the show. But it's it's just it's sad to see that. And I talked to these guys about this the last couple of days since I've had you on. The worst part is you lose and I lose on the Tyreek thing because you lose as a media member because the more people act like assholes, the less these guys want to open up and say anything
Yeah.
because it's not worth it. And then you lose because you don't get that, and I lose because as a reader, I don't get to hear or read about the insightful article you could have found out about this person or that person because now they're a little bit more clammed up because of certain experiences.
Yeah, but
That's the sad part.
the one thing also about social media is that it's teaching you a little bit more about these athletes and their lives and what they got going on, more so than I would say we did 10 years ago. Facebook was popping. First time I discovered Facebook was like 2007, and really that was because Darlington was using it to holler at some women, and it just evolved from there. And Steamroll, it was a college kid thing, and then Instagram, I learned that from my ex-wife, and your kids teach you about Snapchat, but it's got to evolve. But this young generation, I mean, on the last episode of I Am Athlete, Chase Claypool said he made more money on TikTok than he did his rookie contract, his first year of his rookie contract.
Yeah.
Like that's reality. Think about that.
I know.
That like these kids can make money.
Right. Yeah. That's why I felt this show.
College too.
That's why I felt this show could work because the world is not about traditional antennas anymore. It's more about platforms now. That's where people are going. And so we figured, okay, you build some kind of culture on the platform. Maybe you'll get people to, and sure enough, that's kind of because this is where we're at, dude.
Yeah.
It's platforms, and I'm with you. I have to, we opened up a TikTok account and I have to get it going because I don't know how, to maximize it. But I think we got to do, since we're going to hit the road now more. Now we're going to go out to Dolphins camp this year. That's the stuff that's going to change now. We're going to alter the times of the show at times because of camps and things like that. Yeah, we have to do that, unfortunately.
A good idea.
Yeah.
I love radio shows watching live practice.
Yeah. We're going to go back to that now. We'll be able to do, since we control everything, then we'll it's digital, bro. If we have to do the show a little earlier, parts of it, then we'll do a second part later in the afternoon. Then we do that, bro. It is what it is, but we'll work around it. But we have to now get out to the Dolphins and to Heat and start, covering all that stuff. All right. So we have the time off now. It looks like they're done with moves. Or are they? Have you heard anything?
They'll always do something the week.
Right, but are they proactive right now? Are they searching?
Everybody's in the off season, bro. Everybody's vacationing. Organizations, GMs are actually in town here. Executives are in Florida, vacationing. I got to link up with a couple of them. Everybody's off. Everybody's campus closed. Everybody's enjoying their family. This is what the NFL does in July. They enjoy their family till they have to report back.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. I've got no problem with that. It's just you always ask because you always wonder. Okay, is there anything brewing behind the scenes? Is there any final touch ups with anything that they need to do out there?
There will be. I definitely think there will be, but that's always been the case. They always add guys, you know, right before camp, and then the first week of camp, and then the second week of camp. They'll always tinker. Now, how much of it will make a difference or improve the roster? You know, you never know. Like I remember last year they added the kid who's linebacker, Griffin.
Shaquille Griffin, yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't make the roster, but you know, it was a great story for a day or two and a decent camp body. So that's where they are. Now I want to get to my good stuff that I did for the Sun Sentinel, primarily for people like you.
Okay.
Where we sit and we hash where these quarterbacks stack up and where they rank. And I ranked Tua. I put quarterbacks in tiers. And primarily because the elites, who you know who the elites are, they're the Mahomes, the Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Brady, Stafford, Prescott. You can argue whether you want about if any one of them doesn't deserve to be in there. Then I got the guys knocking at the door, which is Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr, who I have a high opinion of, by the way. You do too.
He's always been a good quarterback, bro.
Yeah.
He's never been the problem with the Raiders.
So I just listed you 12 quarterbacks right now who are arguably, you know, the top 12 in the league. And
I know he's old, but you didn't put Matt Ryan in there? Like he's in that second tier, right?
Matt Ryan's done. Matt Ryan's
done? He's done? Okay.
I think he's done.
I don't think he had a bad season last year, did he?
He didn't have a bad season. His team sucked though.
No, I know his team sucked, but he might be better off now in Indy with a line and
I watched him in a joint practice with the Dolphins, and there really just wasn't anything that. I mean, think about it. He's older than dirt.
I know he's old. Yeah, but he's been solid. I mean, he's been solid. He's been a good quarterback. I never looked at him as a great quarterback, but I always looked at him as a good quarterback, man. In that second tier that you talked about,
he's back there. He's in the back. I don't even think he's a Hall of Famer, but that's a good conversation for another day.
That's fine that you could consider he's like a borderline guy. I can see that. I can see people saying he's not a Hall of Famer, but he's a damn good quarterback, right? I mean, you know, he had a good
Dolphins should have drafted him in 2008.
He had like a Matt Hasselbeck type career. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not losing because of him. Put it that way. If you put the right team around him, you'll win. That's it.
Now here comes the company that Tua Tagovailoa keeps. The Kyler Murrays, the Jimmy Garoppolo.
Fair. Fair.
The Kirk Cousins.
Fair.
Ryan Tannehill's.
Yeah.
And then I have Tua ranked. He's my 17th highest rated quarterback in the NFL right now.
So you just talked about Tanny, which is number 17.
I put Tannehill 16.
And then you put him at 17. I'm just saying, it's kind of interesting that the number 17 you gave it to number, 1, but that's fine.
Listen, here's the reason why I put Tannehill ahead of Tua. Tannehill has led the Titans to the AFC South Championship twice, 2 straight years, playoffs 3 straight years, won playoff games, and last year he did it without his running back. So for those who say
the Foreman kid was pretty damn good, bro.
It doesn't matter. He did but the best running back in the NFL.
But the Foreman kid was better than anything.
It doesn't matter. He did it without the best running back in the NFL.
I know, but he still had a pretty damn good running back in an offensive line after that.
He's in a play action based offense. I want Tua to be in the same play action based offense as Ryan Tannehill. So is it fair? And keep in mind, this is Tannehill, who's in his 10th year of his career, who's the 16th best quarterback in the NFL. He's in the top half. What will it take for Tua to get into that top half of NFL quarterbacks this season? And I say he's got to be in the top 12.
But by the way, 133 rushes, 566 yards, 4.3 yards per carry. He had 3 touchdowns rushing. He was a damn good back for them.
Killed the Dolphins. Yep.
And he had 9 receptions for 123 yards, 13.7 per catch. I mean, dude, the guy averaged over 4 yards a carry. He's a pretty good running back, bro. Pretty good running back. That's a hell of a 1-2, put it that way. Considering we don't have a 1 and they had a 1-2 last year.
He was a guy picked up off the street too. So you could have had him just like you could have had anybody else.
Well, but you got to give props to the front office of Tennessee that they saw it, they identified it, and said, that dude will excel in our system.
I think it's more the line. I think it's more the line. That's
I agree.
Where the line makes the back. Not to say that Derrick Henry isn't a freak of nature, but Tennessee.
No. I agree. The line helps. There's no doubt, but you got to give the guy credit. He made the plays too. He looked good in that line. He's not Derrick Henry because nobody's that freak. But man, I got to give Deonta Freeman a little love, bro. I don't think you're giving him enough credit. Give him some credit, bro.
So you would say it's fair that Tua is the 17th ranked quarterback?
Yeah, because I understand your whole breakdown. You're going with the people who have accomplished more up to this point, which is completely fair. Tua has to earn his stripes. He hasn't earned it yet. He hasn't displayed that. He hasn't been to the AFC Championship game. He hasn't had success in the playoffs yet. Some of these guys you're talking about have had success in the playoffs, have had double-digit wins, have gotten to the playoffs, have had some kind of level of success. Even Kirk Cousins, even though I think Tua will be 100 times the quarterback that Kirk Cousins is. But right now, I get it. In this list right now, you have to put Cousins in front of him. I totally understand, dude. It's all sensible what you put together. That's all.
That's all I hear from a TuneOn member.
Yeah, I would love to argue with you about it. Do I think Tua's going to run circles around Tannehill? Hell's to the yeah. I already know he's a better quarterback than Tannehill.
Last year.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying, but he needs to prove it, and he needs to shut a lot of people up and all that stuff. But until he does, then next year he will climb in your rankings. So I get it. I don't have a problem. I don't think anybody. Did you get a lot of flack for it?
No, not really. I think I don't even think TuneOn brushed back really. I did put him ahead of Mac Jones and Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts first, 18 and 20 is Mac Jones. 19 is Mac.
I love Jalen Hurts, the person. I love his athleticism. He doesn't have the accuracy that Tua has. He'll never be a Tua.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to put two guys who were your backups and couldn't hold your jockstrap at Alabama ahead of you, even though they, Jalen Hurts took his team to the playoffs. And, I got Carson Wentz, and then Matt Ryan is my 21st ranked quarterback. I'm curious to see what happens in Indianapolis with a run game.
I mean, he's old, so, you wonder where he's at physically.
37.
But he's been solid, bro. He's
taken a ton of
hell of a career, bro. He's had a hell of a career, man.
Yeah,
he's had a really he's got nothing to. Well, I mean, dude. I still, rest in peace, Tony. I'm sorry, but I still blame Tony for the whole Jake Long thing. You kept him in that preseason game in a rainy, muddy baseball field game. That whole excuse, we need to get the line right and all that, bro. That's Jake Long. You get everybody else right. That guy didn't need to be out there, and that ruined his career. From that moment on, he became injury prone.
I can't even remember. I think Jake's body was going to break down no matter what.
Oh no, dude. No, I disagree with you, bro. I disagree with you. I think he was one of those guys that once he got that injury, he overcompensated for it, and then it became more problems for him down the line. I feel that guy was such a beast, Omar.
Yeah, but I'm not really certain that he was all natural.
I don't care about that, dude. I mean,
but I'm just saying that
how many of these guys in football are not all natural in the past?
I mean, you're right. But that just leads to physical breakdowns.
True. Very true. Very true. Very true.
I mean, and yesterday
he was freakish, bro. He was built like a defensive end.
Yeah.
Playing tackle.
Have you seen the picture of Teron Armstead?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. He's got
now that guy.
He's got the guns of Navarone.
No, you said Jake Long's built like a defensive. Jake Long was built like an offensive lineman. Teron Armstead.
No. Jake Long was built like a defensive end. He had no belly, bro.
He was big, but he wasn't muscular. Whereas,
but he was cut up.
Not really.
He wasn't a giant, but he was.
He was big. He wasn't. He didn't
was
have a belly.
Yeah, no, dude. I don't think you remember Jake. Jake Long did not have a belly.
I remember Jake Long. Jake Long was like the first offensive lineman that I saw that didn't have a belly. And I remember Jake Long. Jake
Long was the Daryl Gardner of offensive linemen.
Nah, Jake Long wasn't that buff. Jake Long wasn't muscular like that. Teron Armstead.
When I'm saying lean, he was leaner than you would expect any tackle.
Not really.
Just like Daryl Gardner, you never expect defensive tackles.
He was country big. He was just big, but he was lean for a 300-pounder.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And he didn't have a belly. He looked like a regular guy, just supersized. Where Teron Armstead looks like a muscular defensive end playing off the line.
Well, he's bigger. He's thicker than Jake.
Yes. No, Teron. I don't know if Teron is thicker.
Yes, he is, bro. Yes, he is. I saw the video and I saw Jake Long, up close.
I used to see Jake Long naked. I'm telling you, I know Jake Long. But he has a different body. But Teron, he doesn't look like Teron Armstead. Jake Long looked like.
Oh, I know.
Jake Long looked like a big country, even though he really wasn't country, but big Midwesterner, big ankles, big calves, big. He's just tall, but he didn't have a belly. He wasn't an offensive lineman with a belly.
That guy was as impressive as it gets. The joint practices were announced on the 10th and 11th of August against Tampa Bay. We've talked about this before. If you're a new coach, to have the two joint practices that you're going to have, that was one of the best offseason moves he's made to prepare his team for the upcoming season.
Everybody's doing joint practices now, though.
But what I'm saying is, if you don't, you're an idiot. And the fact that he not only did one, but he's doing two of them, I give him a lot of credit. Because in the past, years past, that wasn't as common. And all the teams that did it, I always gave them credit. Jimmy Johnson would always do it, and Dave.
Yeah, but it's the new NFL now. It's like everybody's got to do at least two joint practices now. I mean,
less preseason, right?
Yeah. I like it. It's a great evaluation tool. Love it. I don't like it. I love it. I can remember vividly every joint practice I've ever been to. And how it gave me a better picture of where the team is and where the team was and strengths and weaknesses. Last year, watching them get bullied by the Chicago Bears offensive line was my big. I always suspected they were trash. Once I saw that, I was just like, oh no, this will not do at all. Not at all. And I remember watching the quarterback for Chicago, Justin Fields, and watching Miami's secondary just dominate him. And then when they took their foot off the gas, he had a good day the second day, and I was just like, yeah, that's not for me.
Right.
Just and Atlanta the next week, watching their tight end, can't remember his name now, the kid from Florida.
Yeah. Go ahead. I know you're talking about.
Watching him just really shred people gave me the indicator that this guy's going to be a stud, and then he comes out and he wins the game against Miami in the regular season. I didn't find Matt Ryan that impressive, and then Tua and the quarterback started regressing that week. So Tampa, I remember that was when Minka Fitzpatrick decided, I don't want to be part of this bullshit no more. His mama was tweeting me and explaining why he was getting tore up, and that's because he's playing out of position. We had to go bum rush, what's his name, Flores, and have him backtrack and backpedal and justify it. And ultimately, it was a bad decision. It was the wrong decision. I get why they did it, but you should have left Bobby McCain at nickel cornerback, and you should have played Minka at free safety.
Yeah.
But c'est la vie. You live and you learn.
By the way, what are you working on there at the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out, my brother?
As my quarterback ranking is up there. I gave you most of the rankings, but there's a couple of different things to it. I'm working on sort of a synopsis of how much every team, like the off-season champions. Who is the off-season champion of the NFL, Big O?
Who's the off-season champion of
off-season
the NFL?
champion?
Are you talking about like an individual? Or are you talking about a team?
Team. Who made the most improvement to their roster?
Well, Miami's definitely one of them.
In the contender.
Trying to think of all the off-season moves by other teams that really stood out to me.
Like who's entered another stratosphere? It's got to be Denver.
Well, yeah, that's right. Russell Wilson. That's a good call. Even though you and I had this I think you and I had this conversation because we have so many of you guys on every week. I don't think that Denver defense is as good as it's been in the past. I think he's going to have to do a little more carrying there than let's say Peyton Manning had to do when he won a title. I'm just saying.
We'll see. I don't even know who their defensive coordinator is. That's a good question. So yeah, they're going to be changes.
And they lost their defensive coordinator. So yes, yeah, they lost the old man who was the head coach, and then So that was a big loss for them. But
I was in the running to take this job and decided not to work.
Right, and let me tell you, I just don't feel that defense is as good. But that is definitely one of them because the Russell Wilson move puts them right up there because you get a guy like that. Is there another team you're thinking of?
Vegas. I think the improvements that Vegas made, including the head coach.
Yeah,
and Devontae Adams. They still got the tight end. I don't know if they're going to continue to have the tight end, but
they're not. Waller's not going anywhere, bro. They're keeping Waller. They've talked about that. They're not. You don't let a game changer like that walk out.
They got to get the deal done.
They'll get it done, bro.
And Buffalo.
You need to fire the front office if they allow Darren Waller to walk out, bro.
Yeah.
You just have to fire them.
Buffalo.
Well, they were already loaded.
Buffalo is a good call. You know what I might do? I might take a look at the best free agents still out there, still available.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's because a guy like Quan Alexander can help the Dolphins. The center from Cleveland, I can't remember his name now.
Casey Treader.
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. I mean, if Connor works out, then you've got the younger.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not an advocate for. I'm just talking about not necessarily for the Dolphins, but for everybody. Who are the best available talents still out there?
While I thought it was an experiment, I have to give them the benefit of the doubt because they're more offensive line experts.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Okay. We'll find out.
Michael Dieter's your backup. I'm good.
I'm really intrigued to see that work because if it does, I feel good for Tua. Because if there's anything that a young quarterback needs, yeah, sure, you need a left tackle and a right tackle, of course. But that center, brother, that center's got to be money. Money. It's easier to hide a guard than the center. You cannot hide the center. You can hide a guard. You never can hide a center. If the center is a weakness, it is because you have the ball in your hand, it's already that half second ruins everything. Your center has to be a stud. Your guards, one of your guards sucks or is mediocre, you can kind of hide them, and especially in a zone.
I have issues,
especially in a zone scheme. In a zone scheme, especially you can hide.
Yes, in the zone scheme. I have issues with what you're saying from this concern and standpoint and premise. The center usually isn't taking on somebody head to head. Center usually is helping, blocking, and therefore, I don't necessarily. And now with the new rules, you can't be lined up on top of the center.
Right. Exactly.
So you got it. Kind of eases the load for a center and makes it a little bit easier for him to be.
Well, notice that when you have a weak center,
they
stunt right into it, And
absolutely.
so that's why I'm saying.
I mean, you can't have a weak center.
That's why last year when we talk about the line, I thought Poupart's line was on target. He said Austin Jackson and Eichenberg were terrible. We cannot say that about Dieter. Dieter was not terrible at the line. He did a serviceable job.
His
overall.
workload wasn't hard. They had a harder workload, way harder. Even Jesse Davis had the hardest workload.
I'm going to give the man credit for playing a little better than Austin Jackson.
He's all right. You're a Dieter fan.
It's not that I'm a Dieter fan. I'm just saying I got to give him a little love. You know what I'm saying?
No, I can't give him a little love. I'm sorry. Dieter hasn't shown that he's worth his third-round draft pick.
Well, you could say you can't give Austin Jackson love or Eichenberg love or Solomon Kinley love. Okay, but Dieter, you got to give him a little love.
I'm not giving any of them love. They were all, you. If you're a trash line, every member of that trash line is getting
again. You don't give Robert Hunt a little love.
No, I can't. I can't really.
Damn, would you go to the Joe Shad School of Grading?
No, I just you know it. In
honor of Joe Shad taking some time off, you're honoring him by being the tough grader today.
No, I just can't. When you know that's the unit that I watch the most. I'm obsessed with them. Everybody knows it. Every offensive line coach knows me by name because he knows I'm going to be ultra critical of his unit. Like I pay attention to that unit. And just because you're the smartest kid in the dunce class, that doesn't make you smart.
You're bad.
I'm just saying.
You're bad. All right, we got Cham waiting. What do you got going on in the Sun Sentinel quickly so we can go?
I think you're going to make me rank free agents that are still available. I think that's what I'm going to do.
There you go. We created another article for him right there in the middle of the show. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly and catch his exceptional work at the Sun Sentinel. Subscribe, all right? Support Omar and Ira and all the other great writers they have there in the Sun Sentinel.
Host Guy and Athlete tonight from 7 to 9 on Channel 82 on Sirius.
There you go. Channel 80.
Brandon Marshall, Patman Jones, and Antoine Walker breaking down the draft.
There you go. Good stuff there. Don't make any bets with Antoine. He won't pay up. All right. We'll see you later. We'll catch you next week.
All right.
You got it. Take it easy. That's Omar Kelly. And guess who's next? Cameron Wolf, the Wolf Pack.